And we are live, everyone. Belgium's national final has just finished. Eurosong part 2 of the Super Saturday main results is done. We had Slovenia just now. Jess has just come straight from the Slovenia live to this live. Jess, this is the first live we're doing together for 2025, I believe.
Oh yeah, I think so. Cool.
It is, yes, wonderful. And the Belgian results, as we said, have just completed. And we have a winner, to the shock of pretty much no one. It is Red Sebastian with Strobe Lights. I think people are still coming in from the results. We haven't got many in at the moment. Admittedly, Spain is on, to be fair. We're not going to blame you for watching the Spain, but we appreciate anyone turning up here this evening. Ry Bailey, our regular viewer, I hope it's Red Sebastian. He's incredible. Well, for once, Ry Bailey, I think you're happy with the results. So congratulations. You know what, Jess? Let's just use the opportunity to discuss some various songs in this national final, shall we? First of all,
of course.
thoughts on Red Sebastian being Belgium's entry for Eurovision 2025.
I am so happy that this won because his performance is just incredible. That staging is just everything. Oh my goodness. I don't want to tempt fate or jinx anything, but surely this is eventually going to be a contender to win Eurovision, right? I mean, we don't have most of the songs, but based on the performance we've seen in Eurosong, bearing in mind it's like a small national final, I think with a small kind of budget, I don't think they have the biggest budget. In a small country with a small stage in a small studio, and this is what he can produce. Imagine how much further they could take it on the big Eurovision stage. Surely this is a contender, at least for top 5, if not to win. Just phenomenal.
I mean, I would argue the amount they could take this is how high the roof is in Basel. That would be how high they could take it.
Yes.
I'll be perfectly honest. As soon as I saw he was elevated platform, 5 seconds in, I was like, well, he's won. I don't need to bother seeing the rest of this performance. He's won. I don't care. Combine that with the song, obviously. It was the obvious winner. It was the best performance, the best song of the night. It got hype beforehand as well. And I mean, I was going to say, let's not even bother with qualification odds or anything like that.
Yeah.
Let's potentially even discuss show closing in semi-final 1. He is in the second half, I would like to point out. Belgium haven't closed a show since 2016 as well. So that'd be a nice one for them. You know what?
That was a good year for them, so...
That was a good year, top 10. I think with this one in particular, we might circle around to this question afterwards. Once we discuss more songs, I would say in terms of winner potential, it's not the most obvious winner out of the now 6 songs we have. I mean, to clarify, I haven't heard Slovenia yet, but from what I'm hearing about it, I don't necessarily think it's going to win Eurovision. But
yeah, it's not getting out of the semis, sadly.
Right, well, I'll come to that when I hear it eventually. I'm sure the July Joe fans were fond of that in the live stream earlier. But with this one, you know what? There is a world where I see it winning, and that's more than the case for a lot of songs in Eurovision. So I think there's one more likely potentially. I put Greece a little bit higher in my personal likeliness of winning. But I can see a world where Belgium wins. Let's look at some of the comments for the people that are thankfully here. Walter Spitelli, have you got the same surname as one of the acts in Mesk, actually? Because you are from Malta. I believe. Oh, what's her name? The one that sang Heaven Sent. I've forgotten her name. Kirsty. Kirsty, yes. Mark Goard, so happy. Totally agree with Jess. It's amazing. You could agree with me as well. I like that one as well. Yes, it is. So congrats, Walter. You can do that. And Ry Bailey saying best song pick so far. And you know what? Fair enough. Yes, let's hope the UK win. Let's just wait until we actually reveal our artist first. Who knows when that's going to be, despite all the rumors. But yes, so just a quick also thing on the results. It wasn't like it was even close with the results. Red Sebastian topped the jury and the public vote, but he did just top them. He destroyed both votes. In the jury, he scored 132, which was roughly 60 more points than second place.
Wow.
For perspective, Jess, only one person overtook Red Sebastian with their combined score. And he ended up over 200 points more in the televotes than everyone else. So a landslide of the ilk of a Callebaut, of a baby lasagna, a good omen there potentially for I'm
Yes.
just saying, I am just saying, it's one of those results where you think, are you sure it's 50-50? The points seem to be low.
Yeah. I get what you mean.
It was one of those where I was watching with friends. I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure there's at least 13 left, guys. I think he's won. But let's discuss some of the other acts, because there were 7 other songs, and it's not like any of them were. It's not like they were a bad bunch either. In second place, actually, in the lineup, maybe a potentially surprising one, because I don't think it was one people had on their radar as a potential winner, was Leez with it's either Perfectly Imperfect or Imperfectly Perfect. It's one of the
Yes, one of
those. It's one of those. That opens the show this evening, and actually, just for my OCD, was quite nicely scored. 72 with the jury and 72 with the public. That's quite that's a good stat. Jess, what was your thoughts on that one?
I liked that one. I thought it was a very strong opener, and I remember her vocals being really good as well. And I just remember it being like fun and catchy. And I think, generally speaking, if that had gone to Eurovision, it could have got a good result for Belgium. It could have qualified and done fairly decently in the final. But then when you think that there's Red Sebastian in the national final, it kind of makes you think this wouldn't be a good choice, all things considered. But if you take Red Sebastian out of the national final, I probably would have maybe picked this one to go to Eurovision, I think.
Interesting. I mean, I will say vocally, it was a good performance from Leez, I have to say. My only concern with the song is because it's a good song. I just don't know if it's a great song, is my concern. It feels like one that might trend into the background if it were to go to Eurovision. It would maybe squeak in qualification, but I wouldn't be certain of it. But a very considering the competition, the fact that she came second and Red Sebastian's in the lineup, you should be proud of that, considering the competition that you had. Any other comments here? Martin has come in. Martin Gotthard. We're going to shout everyone that comments in here, so please feel free to comment anything you want on here. It is the best song. Yes, we both agree on Red Sebastian. Laura Bailey likes all the songs. That makes a nice change. Don't worry, Spain's in a couple hours. But that's we'll have that live in a sec. On to third now. And this one, I think, was one of the contenders that if Red Sebastian weren't to win, this would be maybe one that I think people consider as a possible chance of taking the crown, with Mentissa with Désolée, 73 with the jury, 58 with the public, a grand total of 131. So only 13 behind Leez, obviously considerably more behind Red Sebastian. But what was your thoughts on this one? Because I would say out of all the artists, Mentissa was a fairly known one in the Belgium lineup. She had a little bit of history with winning The Voice in either France or Belgium. I believe it might have been France. But what were your thoughts on Mentissa tonight?
I stupidly didn't take notes on the performances, and you might need to remind me which song this was.
It was Désolée, so it was
this one. I liked this one, but that pa bit got a bit repetitive towards the end.
Hang on, to clarify, Mentissa is the one in black, not the. I think you're thinking of Manou, who also has
Okay. Harry's going to give his thoughts on this song first. I'm going to remind myself of Mentissa, and then we will carry on.
Fair enough. Guys, just joining us. We're currently discussing Belgium because I've seen an influx of people in. I don't know why 10 o'clock seems to be the popular time to come in. We'll circle around to Red Sebastian at the end in case you missed it. But with Mentissa, that was the fourth song of the evening in the black outfit. It was a very slick performance. It was very vibey, very funky. I think she performed the song to the best of her ability. My only issue is Mentissa. Anyone that's heard Mentissa's stuff in the comments, confirm this, please. She is so much better with ballads, in my opinion. She's got a fantastic song called A Bam. I think if she said something like that, or just another ballad with her raspiness, with her lovely vocal texture, I think it would have stood out a bit more and had a better chance than just sending her like a fairly generic-ish bop, in my opinion. But it's still a solid enough bop. But the performance itself, I thought, was very well executed, very slick, very jazz, which I think is what you need to do for this performance. Jess, now you've reminded yourself of the performance. Look, you cannot blame Jess. She's doing double duty tonight with Slovenia as well, so she's having to watch a lot of Eurovision. Bless her. Jess is doing hard work this evening. Now you've reminded yourself. What is your thoughts on Mentissa?
I like it, but I don't love it. I think it's good, but not great. Basically, there was nothing really wrong with the song or the performance. It all sounded good and looked good, but all it was, in my opinion, just good. There wasn't really anything really stand out about it, or anything that kind of set the bar higher above some of the other songs or performances. But like you said, she sounded great on stage, and I think she has a lot of potential. It would be so good to see her back in a national final again with a stronger song, in my opinion. Yes. And I think having her alone on stage, pretty much, maybe she could have benefited from having more happening on stage, I think. But overall, I like it, but I don't love it.
I think that's a fair assessment. We've had a few more people come in, so thank you for joining us. As always, Jonathan Cavallin, Red Sebastian would win the juries in May if he represented Sweden. Who knows? That's subjective. That's subjective, I suppose. Lee Fern, our regular viewer here. Lee Fern, good evening to you, sir. Nelson David Correa Samora, nice HR. I think he comments underneath. He might have had a typo. Nice greetings from Colombia. My word, is that the time there for you? 5:06. Oh, that's to be fair, to be fair, Colombia's backwards, so they're like PM still. It's not in the morning.
Okay.
So this is a lovely time. Still dedication, and I'm glad to see we've got fans in Colombia as well. That's amazing. Jonathan again saying so far we have all amazing songs apart from Slovenia. Now look, with Slovenia, the good old friends of Slovenia. You know what? At least we've got a male people like now. Before it was all women, and now we've got two males, and one of them seems to be a popular one. So that's fine. I'd say let's move on to fourth, and then maybe we're not going to necessarily go fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, because we'd be here all night potentially discussing all the songs. If you've got any specific questions or comments about Belgium's national final, or maybe even general Eurovision, we'll touch upon that, I think, while we're here, because why not? Let us know in the comments, guys. We'll answer them throughout the stream. In fourth place, narrowly beating, to be fair, Stefanie, this was Jelle van Dael. Apologies if I mispronounced that. With Monster, got fourth place, 115 points, 68 with the jury, 47 with the public. Jess, do you remember this one, or do you need to?
Was that the guy that looks like the Lake Malawi singer?
I will say no. It was a female. It was a female.
Wait, hold on. Who did you say? Sorry.
I said Jelle van Dael with Monster. And quickly, while you Google that, I'm going to say Nelson, Red Sebastian won for them with Strobe lights. Considering
yes, I remember. Yelle.
Jess, we're not going to get the name right. Let's not bother trying. It's an all British lineup. We're not going to bother.
One thing I do remember about this, that I remember thinking when I was watching it, was just how much I loved her vocals.
Yes.
For me, that was the thing that was standing out for me with this, more so than the song, I will say. The song wasn't really doing anything for me. It was more her power, her presence, her vocal on stage, which generally speaking is not a bad thing, because it's obviously good that she sounded good on stage, but it's kind of a bit bad when that's really the only good part of it. And then, because it's not just about the performance, you need to have a good song to go with it. And yes, whilst I think the song was good, it wasn't as good as her performance or her vocals, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, the vocals were spot on. I agree with you there. Personally, I love the song, actually. It's one of my, it's very anthemic, stereotypical, like Swedish sound. So there is a good sound there, which admittedly is not the most unique, but has its place. I was surprised. I thought this would do a tad better with the juries compared to I came fifth with the juries, actually, in the end. Which surprised me. I thought it'd come a little bit higher, but then again, in my opinion, it seemed like Red Sebastian got all the 12s, and then they just said, all right, divide the other points up amongst the other 7 however you want. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, because they're all pretty close amongst each other.
But yeah, this kind of song does scream juries, though.
Yes.
Me more than televoters, so you would have expected a higher score, but
yeah, and also I did love the lighting effects throughout. I thought they were quite nice
yeah.
with the blues and all that stuff. But yeah, it was a very nice song. Let's go to some more comments here. Ry Bailey loved Monster. Yes, you did love Monster. Lee Fern, we sort of covered this a little bit. Possible winner. They think they'll go big in the televote. Just wondering how juries will take to it. One thing I will say about the juries when it comes to Red Sebastian is he hits the notes perfectly.
Yeah.
He hits them spot on, and those notes are hard notes to hit. So whether I get what you're saying from like the song perspective, it's a little bit out there, but juries will be looking for the notes, and if he can hit them live in Basel, then that will go a long way. Jonathan saying, imagine Belgium closing the show in May. It could easily landslide the televote. I think they would close semi-1.
Yeah.
Looking at the lineup now, I mean, I know we've only got a few songs.
Are they in the same semi as Finland?
No. Okay. I'm just looking at the other potential closers because I'm just getting it up now because we have half allocations, guys and girls. Now we can actually look at this stuff. So currently the other countries in the semi-final of the second half are Albania, Azerbaijan, Croatia, Cyprus, Netherlands, Norway, San Marino. The only song obviously there is Yem. I don't see that closing.
Me neither.
And then we're guessing here. I don't see any of Dora songs closing. Not Zora. Please don't remind me of that again. We're a couple hours away from that not being the current Spain entry. I'm very happy about that. San Marino's a wild card. I don't see any of MGP closing potentially. So I would say Belgium is a potential shout to close semi-final.
I think so.
So that would help it. I mean, I don't think it needs help qualifying, but you get my point. So the Duck saying, I'm surprised people think it's a potential winner. I feel it might Paul and Ollie. So here's what I would say is the difference between Ollie Alexander and Red Sebastian. I think people thought he was a potential winner before we heard the song. We weren't too convinced after the song. With Red Sebastian, obviously, we know the whole package and we know the sort of staging effects he's going for. And I don't necessarily think he's got the same issues as Ollie Alexander necessarily. We could be both wrong. We could be both wrong, but it feels a bit different.
I think, in my opinion, Strobe Lights is a better song than Dizzy.
Yeah. 100%.
And staging-wise, when you compare the NF staging to what we saw with Dizzy Eurovision, I think it's much better also. So I think maybe that's a reason why people are touting this as a potential winner, because it's got the staging, it's got the live performance, it's got the vocals, it's got the song. It just needs the votes.
And just coming on to similar to that sort of point you make there, Jess, with a Philippines comment. Philippine, first of all, welcome to the show. The problem is that in Vance, everyone loves the entry from Belgium, and it actually, in the contest, it never follows. I butchered that bit, but you get my point. Two things on that. I get that is obviously linked to Musti, and there are a couple other examples. Senek. The difference there is we know the staging. With both Musti and Senek, we didn't know the staging, and you could argue there was an issue there once the flop. We know the vibe of Red Sebastian, as Jess sort of pointed out. And, we know it's going to be like... I mean, Callebaut easily will love this. I can't see them not.
100%.
Also, Jess, I think we're in agreement here. Get this in the earliest Euro Club possible, please.
Yes.
Get the. I've already on my personal channel. One of those. I don't have catchphrases, but I have like sayings I find myself saying a lot, and one of them is "Get this at Euro Club." It's like various songs. Euro Club, anything dance I like. Get it at Euro Club, everyone.
Yeah, and this is perfect for Euro Club.
Oh yeah, get one with good lighting effects as well. Yeah, not quite strobe lighting, because we don't want to have people with epilepsy, but like we can have some lighting effects. Jonathan saying he will always vote for Belgium. I just love them. He's Italian. You can vote for Belgium in the semis. Yep. Italy are voting in semi-final 1. Hooverphonic. I think the hype sort of matched Hooverphonic with the result.
I thought they had a really good staging.
Yeah, but also I think the hype sort of matched the result. They got to the final, and I don't necessarily think they were higher than in a very strong year of 2021 as well.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just my opinion. Anyway, right, Bailey, you haven't lived, my darling. You have. See, I think I've only been to like one proper Euro club, and that was for like half an hour. Most of my club experience is Euro club, and Euro club seems better because you actually just sing along to the songs, and there's no judgment of dancing or anything like that. Before we get into more like maybe a general point, circling back to Red Sebastian, I do want to cover one more song. It's not necessarily fifth. I want to actually cover the song that came last, because that one was actually one of the favorites amongst the fans. Not necessarily to win, but it was one of the fan favorites going in. It was Manou with Infia Papa or something like that.
Yeah.
It was the second song of the evening. It got, I would say, similar love to Mentissa, maybe slightly less, but that came in last overall. 21 public points, 54 with the jury. So I feel bad for her. She only was ahead of Mentissa by 2 by the end of the by the end of both her points coming in. Do you think that was a deserved last, Jess, or would you have it a little bit higher?
Definitely not. I mean, again, it maybe wasn't the strongest song from the lineup. And if I remember correctly, it was quite a repetitive song, or at least a repetitive chorus. But overall, I thought she gave a really good performance of the song. It was catchy, it was fun, it was entertaining, I would say. And I thought her vocals were really good too. But I don't know, maybe it was just too repetitive. And maybe not, because it was the Rappa Papa again, wasn't it? Or something similar.
Yeah, it was of that ilk,
Yeah. Maybe, I think maybe it could have been that aspect of it that just wasn't resonating with the audience or with the juries, perhaps. And if you've just got these lyrics repeating over and over again and it's getting a bit repetitive and it's not the most original lyrically, and then you've got songs like Red Sebastian, Strobe Lights up against it, I could see why you maybe wouldn't go for a song like this.
Yeah, I mean, it was in slot 2 as well. I know it's only an 8-song national final, but maybe that played an impact on the results there. With this one, the song was catchy. I never quite got the hype with it. It was a bit too repetitive for me personally, as like a potential favorite. I would say my issue with the performance, something felt a bit flat. She did also need to smile a bit more during the performance. I don't mean to say that in a condescending way, but the problem is when the song's upbeat, lively, and clearly it's hard to sing, and focus on various things. I fully appreciate that. But when a song's cheery and lively, you need to make sure you look like you're enjoying yourself. The first time she smiled was once the performance ended. And it's too late. It's too late by that point. There was something that didn't quite click. I wouldn't have had it as last. Personally, I'm surprised Stefanie with Gloria is that high up in the ranking in 5th place, but good for her. But yeah, that was it. And obviously the other one, Stefanie, Grace, Lenn, they're all sort of in the same ilk, I would say, unless you have anything to add on specifically those ones that we've yet to cover.
Not really, to be honest. I kind of feel like this was a Red Sebastian show and everyone else was just like his interval act or like
it was like Lenn Loreen won Melfest. It was like we knew she was winning.
Pretty much.
Everyone else.
Yeah. Like they're just here. All the other artists are just here to support Red Sebastian.
Fair enough.
You could argue.
Guys in the comments, any questions, any final comments, please let us know. We might wrap this up in a little bit because we have covered all the songs and there's still Spain going on. So we appreciate your time massively being here. Some other ones here for comments. Lee Fern, your last Euro Club was 2005. My dear Lee. My dear Lee, I was 2 when you were last at a Euro Club. This is not good.
Baby Harry.
I still can't believe I missed Liverpool. I had everything booked, but my anxiety stopped. Lee, I can assure you, if you ever want to go to a Euro Club, if you're in the London area, they do a great one called Eurofest. If you ever want to go to a Euro Club, I can assure you, you do not need to feel anxious. There is no judgment from anyone there. It's just pure good vibes. If you're ever in an area near a Euro Club, I suggest you do it.
Yeah,
would be my recommendation.
Elsie,
go on.
Oh, I was going to say it's basically just a bunch of Eurovision obsessed people like us just singing and dancing along to Eurovision songs non-stop. And then, if you are a drinker, there's also alcohol, which for some people helps them loosen up as well. So
or makes you feel very hungover. I got my first hangover after a Euro Club, and I'm blaming you, Jess, because it was the first night we were in
Me?
Liverpool Euro Club. It was the first night we were in Liverpool Euro Club, and I had about 7 ciders because you kept offering me them.
I mean, after a while, you were just going up and buying them yourself. So
No, it was a mixture of both. Like, you knew I was drunk because I was dancing to the ride from Rafale. That's how you know I was drunk.
Okay.
But yes, for a personal story between me, Lee, the first Euro Club I sort of went, not a proper Euro Club, but the first like club experience I had was after LEP in 2022. They had like an after party thing, and it was the first like Eurovision event I went to with LEP. I met with a couple friends, and it just when there was in the dancing section of like the after show, it was like, yeah, I feel at home here. You know, it's like you feel at home as a Eurovision fan in here because you're like, when you're a Eurovision fan and you know people from the outsider can be judgmental. When you're just in a room with other Eurovision fans, you're like, you don't feel the judgment at all. It's like you're dancing, it doesn't matter, which is fantastic. I would highly recommend it. But anyway, FF, hello, a regular viewer as well. Lovely to see you. Strobe Light Getting Lost in Your Eyes. Really like this song. I feel like this was the only choice for Belgium. Also, Jess, I've just thought, let him do the rounds of the pre-parties, please. We need him in London. We need him in London.
Yep.
I'll advocate for any artist I like in London, to be fair, because that's the only one I'm going to.
Me too.
Are you actually going to the show this time?
Oh, no. I mean, I'll just be there as press, I hope, as usual.
Well, you hopefully can see him there. Eric Bergendahl, apologies if I mispronounced your name. Finally, we can win this greetings from Belgium. Oh, fantastic. You've got optimism there. That's amazing. Everyone's saying their ages now. Lee Fern's 44. Roy Bailey's 30.
But can I just say Euro Club does not have an age limit?
Absolutely not. If anything, I'm too young. If anything, I'm too young.
No.
It's very rare you get people like me at Euro Club. No, there's a few people there, usually my friends, but that's that's about it. I think we're going to wrap this up. But apart from Jess, I'm going to put you on the spot here because we've sort of discussed about winner. And again, guys in the comments, feel free to join in this question. We have 6 songs, Jess. Do you want to? You know what I'm going to ask you? Yeah.
I actually don't. My favorite.
Rank them from 6 to 1, please.
You know how difficult I find this. You know I'm always on the fence.
We've got to keep it going. Well, it helps with the minutes, Jess. So feel free to take guys in the comments as well. Feel free to join in with us.
So obviously, Red Sebastian is going to be my first place, for obvious reasons.
Yes.
Do you know what? I think probably I would probably keep the scores as they are, but I would probably put Lenn in last place because I just was not vibing.
Jess, to clarify, the 6 songs selected for Eurovision 2025.
You can tell I'm tired.
Yes, bless you, Jess. It's very late.
So the 6 songs. Well, my points
I can give you the 6 songs if you want. Currently, we have Montenegro, Albania, Luxembourg, Greece, Slovenia, and now Belgium.
Oh, okay, right. I'm not going to be on the fence about this. As much as I love Red Sebastian, Luxembourg is going to be my first place.
That's a very you song. That is a very you song.
Yeah, love the song. Didn't like the staging, however, but I love the song.
Okay.
Yeah, wasn't working for me. But Red Sebastian would be my second place so far. My third place, I think, oh gosh. To be honest, not really liking any of the other songs.
That's surprising. Okay.
So far. So I've got my first 2. My last place, sadly, I think is going to be Slovenia.
Okay.
I'm not vibing with that one. And then I would probably put maybe Montenegro's then second last. I think no. Greece is second last, Montenegro then third last, then Albania's in third.
Interesting.
It was a bit of a backwards thing, but
So what's funny about rankings is, so I only do 2 rankings a year, like before show and after show. But I what's fun when there's a small amount of songs, I can tell you my ranking. As soon as it gets to maybe like this time next week, I've got no clue, because there's like double the song. My last place, okay, I'm going to put Slovenia there. I haven't heard the full song, but from the snippet I've heard, it doesn't sound great. And also, I actually like the other 5. So I then have Albania in 5th, Montenegro in 4th, but it's a good 4th. Montenegro, it's a good 4th from Montenegro. Luxembourg 3rd, but again, a good 3rd. I love that song as well. Belgium in 2nd, and then I'm going to ignore the Greece slander you just gave to that, because
I mean, it's not a bad song. It's just not 100% to my taste. I feel like
I did think it wasn't to your taste. I did think it wasn't to your taste, to be fair, Jess.
I love the very beginning bit where it's like her vocals and it kind of sounds a bit haunting almost.
Yes.
Or like ethnic haunting, if that even makes sense. But yeah, I much preferred Evangelia, to be honest.
Fair enough. The Euro club in you suggested. Let's do some more ranking. Leave Fern, Belgium, then Luxembourg, then Greece. Ray Bailey only likes Belgium and Luxembourg at the moment. Leave. Oh, his full ranking here. So Albania, then Slovenia, then Montenegro. Jonathan, my friend, has got Belgium, Albania, Greece, Luxembourg, Montenegro, and Slovenia. Something tells me a lot of people are going to have Slovenia in last place. I don't know why.
Have you heard Slovenia yet?
I've heard a snippet of it. To be honest, so for anyone that follows my channel knows I will cover most national final reviews. I didn't bother with Slovenia for 2 reasons. One, it was too quick a turnaround with the songs being revealed a week after. And 2, I heard snippets of each of the songs with my girlfriend while I was with her, and we said, well, they all sound terrible. So I was like, I'm sorry, I can't be asked. I genuinely didn't care who was winning tonight. I was like, you know what, July Jones, because the fans like her. But then, she didn't even win. Sure, Slovenia, take who you want. And if I'm wrong about Slovenia and you like Slovenia, feel free. That can prove me wrong. Fine. Let's actually close with this question, because we have one more question in from Alice, and it's a nice thing to close with, considering it's a Belgium. Why did you show my about only for a brief? Oh, hang on. Did I miss your comment or something? Hang on. God. I think I accidentally clicked off it. My apologies, Elise. Belgium has chosen me as sending with Sebastian. Greetings from Belgium. My sincere apologies, Elise. I think we just accidentally got jumbled up in various comments. But yeah, no, sorry about that. Welcome. Jonathan, my dear, I'm terribly sorry. Yes, straight Eurovision male fans do exist, I have to say. While I'm flattered, this is the second live stream this week where I've been I'm like, I think my girlfriend might have some issues with that. And Ry Bailey, you're back to my bad books. So let's close there.
Going back to, I think it was Elise's comment that you just brought up. I noticed you said, I think she said, wish us luck in Basel or something. And wish us luck in May. I was just thinking, you don't need luck. With that performance and with that song, you've got it in the bag.
You know, Elise, you're from Belgium. You don't need luck. You know what you need? You need a room to rave in. That's what you need. You need a room to rave in, because you're going to listen to this song over and over again for the next few months, and you're going to be proud of it, and you're going to be very happy with the fact that Belgium, you know what? I don't care if Musty didn't qualify. They're in a great era, Belgium, I have to say.
What does that mean?
As in like a great era. Yeah, they're in a great era, Belgium, with Musty and with Gustav. In terms of song quality, I think they're in a fantastic era.
Yeah.
But yes, anyway, this will do it for the show. Spain is maybe about to finish. It's meant to finish at 11 UK time. Don't trust Spanish times though, guys. It's going to finish at some point. And who knows who's going to win. Jess, have you been following by any chance? A quick prediction?
Not intensely, but I have seen the performances, and I want either JK Bello or Melody to win.
That is the correct answer. I'll add the caveat in La Chispa if she's miraculously improved her vocals tonight. Obviously, I don't know.
We haven't not the biggest fan of that one.
Either of your options, though, I think would be the best choice for Spain. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for watching us, guys and girls. We will obviously have a live after Benidorm Fest and so much more Eurovision coverage over this year. Jess, thank you so much for pulling double duty this evening. Go get some rest now, please.
I clearly need it after I just misunderstood everything you were talking to me about, but
don't worry, you've earned the rest, Jess. You really have. Thank you so much for joining us and taking your time out of watching Benidorm Fest potentially to watch us. And yes, really a joy to see you all. You're all a bunch of legends. So thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Like this video if you enjoyed it. And join us next time for another live or whatever video is next posted on Eurovoxx. Thank you so much. Take care all and see you guys soon. Bye.
bye.